Welcome to GeekStorm. I'm Sean Hilton, owner of Comics Cube, located at 121 East Sycamore. Today, we're filming GeekStorm and the finest toy store in all of the galaxy. Kokomo Toys, located at 111 East Sycamore in the heart of downtown Kokomo. Today, I am joined by my good friend Michael Allen Harrison, who's bringing all of the worldly knowledge that you're going to need to know in Geek Today. Mike.
What?
Man, there's some geeky stuff going on.
Sure is.
Woo, it's crazy. So, SAG is getting ready to have their awards, which is a little forgotten. In between the Golden Globes and the Oscars, you got the SAG Awards.
Right.
However, the SAG Awards are actually voted on by SAG members,
Right.
which are actors,
Right.
who are the exact same people
Right.
who vote for the Academy Awards, unlike the Golden Globes,
They're
which is...
a section of the people who
So,
yes.
It's a very good indicator. A lot of the people who are voting in the SAGs are literally going to vote for the exact same thing that they just voted for the Academy.
Probably.
So there's a much better chance that you're going to see direct crossover from the SAGs into the Academy Awards than what you saw in the Golden Globes
Right.
into the Academy Awards.
Correct.
Traditionally, these guys get a really high percentage. I was looking it up. Out of your best actor, best supporting actress, kind of the big four, the last 3 or 4 years, they've gotten up to like 75% right.
That's
Three out of the four.
That's like 3/4.
And like 2 years in a row, they got 4 out of 4 right.
Oh.
So this is going to be a big one. This
Yeah.
is the first time the SAG Awards has had a host.
Really?
Do you know who it's going to be?
No, I don't know. I'll take a guess.
She
Is, of course,
married to
the
a
well-known
dorky guy who first appeared in Zathura, or Zatara, or Zathura.
Fan idea.
Jumanji's space cousin,
Don't know.
Dax Shepard.
Oh, I like Dax Shepard.
So-
The very first podcast I ever listened to was with Dax Shepard.
Really?
Yes.
So Kristen Bell is going to be the first time they've ever had a host for the SAG Awards. So
Cool.
we're going to see. The only reason I bring it up is because I know you're a big.
So Kristen Bell is the host,
Yeah.
not Dax Shepard.
Yeah, she married the dorky-looking dude. Dax
She's very
Shepard.
funny.
She proves that every dorky guy has a chance.
Do you watch, or have you watched The Good Place?
I've watched the entire first season of The Good
Okay.
Place. I've watched the first episode of the second season of Good Place, and then I couldn't find it.
It's weird.
It was like not on. All of first season was on Hulu. None of second season's on Hulu. And then I went and tried to find it on my direct TV stuff. Been having trouble with my on-demand direct TV stuff. It's the reason I'm a little late today. You guys don't know it because it turns out we film whenever we film. But I was a couple minutes late because I was trying to find Black Lightning,
Oh.
and it wasn't on the 99 whatever that you go to 99 it goes to your thing.
Sure.
Wasn't on there. I have a CW app on a Roku in the bedroom.
Right.
But I'm like, well, I don't want to watch. It's a much smaller TV, and I
Sure.
want to see this.
Right.
So I tried to bring it up on PlayStation 4. I can't find an app to do it there. I have an Android, smart TV.
Right.
I can't get it to bring up a CW app. So eventually, I finally I had to go watch it in the bedroom. And in the bedroom, not only is it a smaller TV, but it's a little more spotty. Like it stutters a little bit. It's not as smooth. But regardless, I got to see it.
Wow.
So.
You had a rough morning.
Well,
I mean, not like
time,
Puerto Rico rough, but you've had a rough morning.
I don't know what happened in Puerto Rico. I haven't been on stuff all morning. What happened?
Well, I mean, they still don't have electricity. I mean, it's been 100 days.
Oh.
Some of them don't have electricity from the last hurricane that went through.
Huh.
It's just electricity. It's not a
They're
big
probably
deal.
not seeing Black Lightning.
They have not seen. I
they don't
would
have the-
I
they
would
don't
lay
have
money
lightning
that
for the
they have not
electricity.
seen. I was comparing your first world problems to the third world problems. Sorry.
Well, I live in the
Oh, wait a
first
minute.
world.
Puerto Rico is not third world, is it? It's the United States territory. No, sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
Well, it doesn't have electricity right now.
It does not have electricity. It's in the Stone Age.
So they're not watching this probably.
No. They're fishing in lakes and stuff, looking for looking for food
Man.
because they can't refrigerate. But that's neither here nor there nor geeky. I was just pointing out the fact that your problems are. Did you get to see Black Lightning ever?
did.
Oh, thank goodness. Thanks. How was it?
I don't know that I feel good talking about it now. Now I feel like we need to dedicate this entire episode to Puerto Rico.
We should dedicate to Puerto Rico.
And how we might be able to help them get electricity.
I was while you're talking.
I like fishing in a lake, so I don't know. But I mean, I wouldn't want to do it for sustenance. I just want to.
While you're talking about your electronic woes, the whole time I'm obviously not listening, and I'm thinking, okay, should I talk about my mission trip I took, or which I didn't, or I was on the computer talking to somebody in Somalia, or something that would be completely opposite of your horrible, horrible
I
problems.
just wanted to watch Black Lightning.
I came up with Puerto Rico.
That was it. I just wanted to watch it. I was really excited about it. I've been eager to see it since they announced it. Cress Williams is an actor that I like quite a bit.
Do you?
He appeared in another CW show called The Heart of Dixie. Which
Oh,
is
you did like that show.
A very light-hearted
Right.
Gilmore Girls of the South
Right.
with, what was the, Fox, the actor Fox.
Matthew Fox?
No, the guy with, was it cerebral palsy?
Michael J. Fox?
Fox, yeah.
Okay.
He, the doctor one. Dr. Hollywood? Is it Doc Hollywood?
Doc Hollywood.
Which is what Cars movies are based on, I think.
Okay.
Man. Usually you're really helpful.
I have answered every question you said, except this last one.
It's like you're just sinking us here.
I've answered every
If you
question.
could bring at least a little charisma to
my
the
gosh.
stage, then at least the show would be a little better. But either way, Cress Williams played in that show and was.
You went down the fourth
different
generation
character,
rabbit hole of people who've been in movies, that have nothing to do with back around to Black Lightning. But go ahead.
It was really good. It was, I think it's only one episode, but I would say that one episode right now, my favorite CW TV show.
Wow.
Favorite superhero show.
No, wait,
by
you don't
far.
watch any other CW TV shows.
I watch all the CW superhero shows. I'm just behind on them. But I watch them all.
I feel like you gave up like about a half a year ago on all.
No, I'm like 3 or 4 episodes into all of this season.
You know, there have been like 8 or 9 episodes.
I've told you I'm behind. I haven't even got to the crossover yet. But Flash, I watch. I watch Supergirl.
you're
I watch
busy.
Arrow. I watch.
You're busy with your
DC
apps,
Legends of
your electronics problems.
of
I can see how difficult it is for you to watch a CW show with all your app
Well,
problems.
I can't watch the CW show because I'm too busy watching the Netflix shows, which are so damn good.
They are good.
So, and they're better. But I really wanted to watch Black Lightning.
It was
I got
good.
a chance to see it.
Let's talk about it.
And it was really good. So there you go. Black Lightning on CW. You should watch it. It was really
Wow.
good. Now we can move on.
No, we don't have to move on.
We should move on now.
Why?
People want to know about other stuff. I just told them it was good.
We got a really short lineup, so we might want to
Yeah,
stretch
I
on the
saw
black.
that.
You want to stretch on the Black Lightning. That's why I'm
like nothing.
Well, I'm going. That's why I'm talking and
Did you
talking.
get a chance to
because
see it?
I did see it last night on a CW app on my little pad thing.
Oh, so you don't mind watching it on like the tiny thing? I don't like that. No. So
Well, at the that was
does it stutter?
no,
No. So you just have a better connection or something.
maybe.
So the Roku I think is set up to fail.
Maybe.
I think there's I don't know if I.
I mean, it depends on what else is going on with your. Are you streaming something else, or are you?
No, not usually.
Are your dogs on the internet?
No,
Looking
no,
up-
they quit. You know what? They were. I was having a problem. I have 2 dogs, if you don't know. I got a Newfoundland and I got a little pit bull mix.
Right.
They're great.
Right.
But they had an addiction problem. There's a lot of internet poker going on all the time, and they're always in like a little room with a bunch of other dogs all
Sure,
sitting around with
sure,
their little webcams.
Sure.
So I had to shut that down. I mean, I got a weird bill. And I'm
right.
like, what the hell? And then a
Right.
guy named Guido showed up and was like,
Was it a bulldog?
we need, yes. And he's like, I need to talk to Miss Denali. And I'm like, well, I don't know who the hell you are, but you need to talk to my little girl.
Right.
And he's like, oh, sir, we got, and then
Right.
they explained it. And, whew. But, so yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So I did watch it on the app. It was fine. But I liked it. I liked it a lot too. There wasn't any part of it where I was like, So it was at the very least solid all the way through, and then it had some highlights.
It felt legit, is one of the best ways to say it. The amount of action and what we were seeing related enough to the real world, but in a exaggerated manner that made me feel like it was placed in something that I could wrap my head around. The Cress Williams character as Jefferson Pierce came across as a human being before they did the whole superhero shtick with him. They did a really good job in one episode of placing the character in the world, in the job, and how he had moved away. Because the whole point of this being is Black Lightning retired like 9 years ago.
Right.
And now he is acting as, nobody ever found out who he was.
Right,
and
which is
all
hard to
that
believe.
Sort of stuff. And so now he's a high school principal.
Right.
And he's been doing an excellent job with that. And then eventually things, careen together, and the high school becomes involved in a situation with gangs, and it forces him out of retirement.
My only wait and see on this is the costume. We haven't really seen it in daylight. We haven't seen it.
None of the costumes ever look good in daylight.
In good lighting.
Arrow
This one,
proved that.
I don't know why this particular one, because seeing him, they showed several shots of him, like shirtless and stuff. He's jacked. Okay, he's
great.
in really good shape.
He's a sexy looking dude. He's a CW actor.
I'm not sure why we have to throw all the Iron Man armor on him to make him look even bigger or whatever. And some of it some of it, the just very glimpse that I wasn't crazy about. But wait and see how they decide to do it in daylight.
I don't think you're going to see, one, I don't think you're going to see a lot of daylight ever, because those, again, Arrow proved in that one episode when it was all bright that those costumes always look silly in light. But two, the electrical powers are never going to look good in daylight anyway. You're always going to want to have like a day glow kind of effect. So it's all, I think you're going to see mostly.
What do you think about the James Remar character and his tailor shop Batcave setup?
I hate to say it, but I love that dorky crap.
I enjoy him as an actor, and I enjoy when he's a good guy. That doesn't happen a lot, or hasn't happened a lot in his career. He was a good guy in Dexter, but other than that, not a lot of good positive roles for him where he gets the chance to act and not be just he doesn't have to act like he looks, because he looks like a bad guy. Okay, he's got that, I don't know what it is, but
he's got negative charisma.
Gravelly voice. Yeah, he's got a -4 charisma.
I think he's always got a good look though. Even as a bad guy, he's like that's the guy.
Right.
I really dug the whole Kingsman-y kind of.
That was funny.
The super
is that? I don't remember that from the comics. I don't know Black Lightning comics that much.
I'm not that familiar with Tony Isabella's work.
Yeah.
Those books came along.
Not for lack of trying,
mid to
because
late 70s.
because Tony Isabella wants you to know.
Oh yes, he does.
All about him, and he's hey everybody, it's Tony Isabella.
He's great.
He says that out loud.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah. So the thing that's a little odd about that is Tony is very much a Caucasian gentleman. Who got to create like one of the most iconic DC African American characters. So that always feels a little odd to me. But he did a really good job for the time, and I think he tried really hard.
What was the going way back here? What was the Black Vulcan, Black Lightning controversy back with Super Friends? They something about they couldn't get creators' permission, which seems odd because is it a DC character? So
it would have been a DC character. It would have been that.
They called him Black Vulcan because something they couldn't get something to do to make it Black Lightning.
I don't know. Maybe there was something else.
Okay.
We'll have to look that up. That would be interesting. I really wish we'd done that research, because that is a fun little thing. So, but yeah, oh well. But otherwise, I think CW's got they've got a really good show on their hands. I think this one could be top notch. I don't understand why it's not based in the Arrowverse. I mean, they made a big deal of saying it wasn't, but after watching the first episode, I don't know what stops them in episode 2 going, we were just joking.
It's not until it is.
Yeah.
We live in a flashpoint. They've already talked about all the different Earths and Earth 2, 3, 4, 99, and everything. So, when they want to do it, they'll do it. I'm positive of that. A dollar on that they will.
It was good. Also, he's a superhero that made sense. It worked. The powers made sense, and they did a good job with them. They looked good. Just the whole thing. I mean, really, man.
He's got charisma. You could go and have a beer with this guy. You could go and have a good time with this guy, and then he's the superhero too. So that's a big deal. Like Oliver Queen. I don't want to spend any time with Oliver Queen.
No, he's an asshole.
Barry Allen seems like he'd probably be fun if he's not being too broody.
Sure.
He's slipping down the alley slope. But this guy, he was fun. He was cool. I like him. So I like him. So I like the character. So I like.
I would donate money to his high school.
Sure.
So for his fundraiser, I would, I'd write that check for $100.
Right.
Here you go.
All right.
So, and then Tobias Whale.
I don't know who that
the
is.
Big bad. He's the overall bad guy, but the guy looked really good. They actually got, I guess. And I don't know. I didn't really follow up on that part because he's a bit character at the point. But I'm under the impression that's some rap guy, a rap star. But he is albino. Like, that's not makeup.
Okay.
They found a guy that in what little bit you saw of him, did a really good job as well. I'm like I anticipate looking forward to the big throwdown between these two eventually, and I think it's going to be pretty sharp.
Do we know?
Go ahead. Blame Tony Isabella.
Blame for the Black Vulcan?
So Tony Isabella.
Between him and DC, so they had to create Black Vulcan.
Wow.
Huh.
Okay. So I wonder how he had any creative control if he created that for DC.
We'll have to check. We'll have to look into this. So Tony Isabella stopped them from using Black Lightning.
So then my next question would he have any regrets for that? For stopping that and not making Black Lightning a little more well known.
I mean, again, he created him sometime. I want to say in the late '70s.
Sure.
So think of if instead of being Black Vulcan, who very few people remember that particular character.
Right.
If he'd been Black Lightning in that show, would it have helped the character a little bit more?
Maybe.
So as opposed to creating this odd ball character.
Which
so.
Vulcan means like volcano, like heat and fire, but he still threw lightning around. He used to.
Yeah.
So
it was
thanks, Tony.
A little odd.
Yeah.
So now, have you watched any of the CW stuff that's come back?
I watched Arrow last night.
How's that going?
It's awful.
Is it really bad?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Wow. That's one of the reasons I'm behind on it.
It is so many times this Arrow, and maybe even CW in general, but Arrow formula of I'm gonna plant this thing to get and we're gonna find the bad guy, and we're gonna find him, and we get there, and then something happens, and it all goes away. And then they do it maybe even once again that same episode where there's a confrontation that doesn't happen, even though we're all in the same room. Oh, let him go this time. We're gonna get him next time. That type of thing. It happens all the time on those shows.
Yeah, I don't. That and just the other thing I really dislike about, especially Arrow, is and Flash also does the lies. There's always some stupid lie that is screwing something up that doesn't make any sense.
You mean between main characters?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
If you had just told whatever it was.
Right.
At the beginning,
right.
It would never have been a big deal.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm sorry, but I love Pepsi and not Coke. What? Okay, well, that sucks, and now we're moving on. But it's always like, the problem is within keeping the lie itself, and it doesn't move the story along. It's always something stupid.
And also, because Arrow is not a show that is rife with superpowered people. You've got some canaries and Mr. Terrific has a little bit of stuff, but the rest of them are just guys with guns, let's be honest, and arrows, whatever. So the villains then always have to be at that caliber, at that level.
It would be that
it's not exciting, and this is like the sixth season where we're still having those guys, and they're not. Right now, it's another gangster. Or he's not a gangster. He's like an organized crime type of guy. He doesn't have any powers. He's the guy that pulls the strings that does this. But he's the big guy we got to get. So I'm just not excited by the show at all.
How about Flash?
I haven't seen the new one yet. I haven't seen it
forever.
Oh, Flash is good. I enjoy Flash.
DC Legends.
Yeah, it's good.
And Supergirl.
I don't know if you heard. When we were talking about it, because I'm sure you watched the show when you're not on it.
I don't.
Supergirl and Legends are sharing a time slot when they come back. They are going.
Oh no, we talked about this.
Did we? Okay, yeah. So they're going to Supergirl for 4 weeks, I think, and then stop, and then Legends will finish out its season, and then Supergirl will come back at the end.
Yeah, fans are not happy.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
So that's a weird idea.
I don't like the Supergirl, this villain that they've been building up at Reign. I think the mask looks very. Remember Black Scorpion?
Yeah.
The B movie chick looks like that, but we haven't seen her do it.
It's in her nature.
We haven't really seen her do anything yet, so I don't know. We'll see. Flash is usually pretty good though.
I like it. Again, it's one of those things. It's usually laid up with lies that just cripple it. It's always, and a lot of these shows do this, where there has to be some secret or a lie. If you just told them the secret or you told them the truth,
and I think
it would have just saved all the drama.
It's got a lot to do with the 22 episode season. You just have to prolong drama. You have to create drama, prolong it, and plot out when you can release it.
When you see these BBCs or the Netflix shows or some of the other countries where they do the 8 to 12 part episodes, you see a lot less of that.
Oh yeah. Compact storytelling.
Much tighter and usually longer episodes.
Yeah.
So that's something that I look forward to.
Speaking of CW.
Yeah, buddy.
If you watch Supernatural, they're on their 12th season right now. Whew. 12 seasons of Supernatural.
You could have started and finished grade school now.
Supernatural's been on longer than MASH. Okay. So there's that. They did a backdoor pilot last night. They've been talking about forever, and I guess this show is in production, but the backdoor pilot that they showed last night was, the title of the episode was called Wayward Sisters, and they basically collected all the tougher female characters from the show over the years and put them in an episode. Sam and Dean are gone, they're missing, we need to go find them, that type of thing. And so calls are made, and the Sheriff Jody, then there's another sheriff who I can't remember. They're the two main ones because they're a little older, a little saltier.
The mother-daughter bounty hunters are dead, right?
Yes.
That's too bad, because those are the two I would have
I would have liked them too.
Liked to have seen.
And I think if that show had been on the horizon when that was going on, they might have seen them stick around. But so
it is Supernatural, so they'll probably be back.
They may be back. You don't know. Sure. They may be back. So it was okay. It was kind of slow, and I think they're putting a lot of money, or they're writing a lot on this one main younger character who's like the rebel who doesn't want to be with the rest of them, and she's just not likable to me at all. But even in the character that she's supposed to be playing.
Now, other than estrogen, what is going to make this different than what we've already seen in Supernatural?
The only thing that I saw right away was like, oh, these are their monsters, because they introduced a new monster that Sam and Dean has not seen before.
Sure.
And because they came, Sam and Dean went into this other dimension. That's where they had to go find them. While they went, the door was open, and some of those things came through. Now they're showing that these doors at the end credits last night showed that another one of these doors opens up somewhere, and the tagline between all of them at the end, Sam and Dean's like, hey, you know, if you need any help, give us a call. And they're like, well, you guys take care of the world, we'll just take care of Sioux Falls. You know, that's what they said. And
Sioux Falls,
Iowa, and that's where they were at.
So they're going to be just located. The entire show is supposed to be located in just like one little city.
I don't know. All I know is another door opened up, and it was these kind of crappy. It looked like post-apocalyptic. It was guys in what looked like ghillie suits. And stuff dripping off of them, but then also some
Scooby-Doo monster
in SWAT gear. Basically, SWAT gear and a SWAT gear ghillie suit is what I'm going to say. That's what it looks
I am so far behind on Supernatural. I might have to go home and actually fire up an episode or two.
Yes.
So Buffy the Vampire Slayer had the same sort of thing.
Yes.
I don't know. That seems.
I'll give it a try when it actually comes out.
A backdoor pilot for a show that's already long in the tooth.
It is.
I'm like, and honestly,
but it's women. Like it's women, so
I get it, but that's not enough of a difference.
I know.
You know, I don't know.
We'll see.
So I'm interested to see what's going to happen with it. I will watch it. I like Supernatural quite a bit. I just hate to say it. It's one of those shows where I watch so much of it. I probably watched 7 or 8 seasons. I'm guessing. I don't really remember. The last season I watched, they basically were hanging out with their grandpa for a while. Or great-grandpa or something like that. And find out that he was a member of
Walter Skinner,
an upper scale
right.
monster hunting society.
Right.
They found his Justice League thing.
Yes,
that's where I'm at. So I don't know what season.
In that season, they were after the alphas. There's an alpha vampire. Right. There's an alpha werewolf. There's the one guy that's the one, and that they were trying. That was the big bad or bads at that season.
Was Universal Monster Alpha?
Yes.
All right. So do you have any clue what season that was?
You're probably right. 7 or 8. I mean, wasn't that long ago.
All right, so I need to catch up. That's one of the shows I watch it. I binge them, and I'll watch like 7 or 8, and then I stop. The first 5 seasons,
solid.
Watched them like regularly, but now it's like we've seen them kill so many things that I kind of got to get away from it for a while so that I can like it again. Like when they do their little quips, I'm like, oh, they're doing that thing.
The last few seasons that they've done some really hardcore stuff, like some brutal stuff to these characters, and so. It's been interesting. It's been good. I've enjoyed it.
Something more hardcore than, I don't know, killing them, sending them to hell, and then bringing them back?
I like torturing them, like putting time to a chair and like putting a flamethrower to their feet, that type of thing. Sam didn't like that, although he walks just fine now, I can tell you that.
I got to tell you, that's the thing is like a UFC fighter has a fight expectancy of what? Maybe 40 fights?
Sure.
I mean, at best.
Right.
These guys are Supernatural hunters who've been in it for 12 seasons.
Right.
I don't know how many hunts that is.
I don't know.
But I got to think that they are well beyond the expiration date of the typical hunter.
Well, because they've died several times. They reset their clock. They get a new life bar every time they come back.
Reset the level.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the wraiths or one of the deaths or whatever the term that they use, Reapers, one of the Reapers told them the next time Winchester dies, he's not coming back. I'm guaranteeing you that. It's never going to happen again. So I don't know. That's probably for the fans because we're sick of it.
Because we've done it so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, and I don't want the show to necessarily go away. I'm fine with it. It's
a good show.
They're going to do something with it. I just want to do stuff. And Wayward Sisters, I would have happily have seen Bobby back in the day go off with the 2 bounty hunter females to just do a whole different show because it was new enough. We could have done some of that.
So. Bobby, he shows up once in a while.
Does he? Yeah. He was probably my favorite.
Once a season. Or so.
Has Dad ever showed back up? Do they bring in?
Not in a very long time. Not since probably you were watching. I'm sure. Okay. No, he hasn't come back.
So I mean, a great actor. Like to see him.
He dead.
Show up again. So you got to think at the end of that final episode.
Mom came back.
Yeah, she did for a while. I think I do recall that.
She's back.
She's back.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She's like part of the show.
Okay. The final episode of that, it's got to be, the final episode of big shows is always big. I remember MASH, that was a big deal. I didn't necessarily remember watching Cheers, but I know the Cheers finale was like a super big deal.
Right.
ER, shows that have that longevity. This is 12 seasons, probably already been renewed for a 13th, I'm guessing. They're going to do that as long as those 2 guys want to do it.
I think you're right.
As soon as those 2 guys are done, and at this point, I mean, they've got the check. I don't know how much money they've got banked. They've got shows. They've got Supernatural.
Sure.
They conventions.
They each made a movie once.
At the same year, and they were both bad.
Right.
I think one got to do Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
And was the other one Halloween or something?
They were both horror
no,
movies.
it was like the minor one.
Yeah, it was like out in the woods type of deal.
They both didn't go over
It's like,
well.
oh, there's Sam.
So.
Yeah, they do conventions all the time,
Yeah.
and they love the fans, and they really embrace what's going on with the. I'm sure they know they only have so much time to do this, and they may not do anything else after. So they're
Not everybody is David Boreanaz.
They're doing it right.
David
Right.
Boreanaz is one of the lucky guys that I've been able to see
Yeah.
jump from pretty good show to pretty good show
Yeah.
to pretty good show. Now I don't know about SEALs, as we talked about that. I haven't really seen much of that yet.
I think the problem there is it just seems like it's another procedural, even though it's set in some military stuff that.
Well, there was like 3 or 4 military shows like that this
Yeah,
year. As I said, I'm
all
watching
at once.
one that just came back. There's that one. CW had one that might already be gone.
Valor, maybe.
Valor, I think it
Yeah.
was. I haven't heard a thing about
I didn't see
it.
it either.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking of, do you know about? I want to get to your comics though, because your comics always get shortchanged. We have 4 minutes left, so let's do that.
All right. So DC's got a big thing going on right now called Dark Metals. And the idea is that Batmans from different universes.
So Batman.
Okay. From different universes have been turned.
Turned bad?
Mostly all bad.
Okay.
Yeah. So one, he confronts the Green Lantern and takes the ring and becomes a really
Bat Lantern?
vicious, evil.
Ooh, evil.
Like he breaks the ring and.
Why would you do that?
He gets it to, breaks all the parameters on it, and
Okay.
his force of will was so strong.
Oh, I see.
That he overcame.
I gotcha.
the
Not physically
internals,
broke it,
and
so it didn't work.
basically destroys the entire Green Lantern Corps.
Oh.
There's a version where he meets Aquaman, kind of deal, takes over that.
Are these all Elseworlds, or they take
well,
place?
they feel like Elseworlds, but they are all combining into our realm.
Okay.
And out of that is coming some new stuff, and this Damage comic is the first one. I have no clue, because they haven't finished Metal yet, how this really falls out of that. But Damage #1, $2.99 from DC, is big name is Tony Daniels, is the big talent that's really well known behind it. He's worked on Batman, he's worked on Spawn. He's been around for 20 plus years,
Sure.
I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
Big name. His name used to appear in the Wizard top 10 artist list kind of thing.
Right.
So the idea with this particular book is that we've got a military character named Ethan who appears, and again, we don't get it all yet, first issue, appears to have been the subject of some military experiments, and basically, and you read it too, so correct me if I'm wrong, basically becomes the Hulk for 1 hour.
Correct.
That's it. That was. Now, Marvel Comics already has a Hulk,
Right.
several of them,
Right.
including one a guy who is a military guy,
Right.
who can turn into the Hulk
Right.
for 1 hour.
Right. Right.
Well,
this guy isn't red, so it's a completely different story.
no,
it's completely different.
instead
You're missing the point, Sean. He's not red.
he looks a little bit like Deathlock.
Yeah, I was gonna say my comment on this is 2 things. The character design looks awful. I don't like it. It's all over the place. It's got his face looks skull-like, but the rest of his body is all hulked out, and then he's got these red things on him that just don't.
No clue what those are about.
There's no
yet.
symmetry, or not symmetry. There's no
Rhyme or reason.
Yeah, aesthetically does not look good.
Looks like Deathlock's head on top of a Hulk. Almost not even a Hulk. Doomsday kind of.
Yes.
Doomsday Hulkish body.
And actually, in reading it, I didn't even think of the Marvel Hulk. What I was thinking of was the best part of that Fantastic Four movie when the Thing was working for the government, and they would just airdrop him into a place and just tear things up. That's what I thought of. I thought, oh, somebody saw that and wants to make a comic out of it. But it was just.
It was really a letdown. Tony Daniels is a much better creator and talent, and the best part of this book was probably
the introduction.
Suicide Squad Task Force XL popping up.
That's extra large.
Yeah, popping up towards the end where that's not going to do any good because he's got his own book, so he's going to have to whoop him up. Best part of this book is the Jeff Lemire, Ivan Reis, Terrifics backup.
Oh, okay.
Little
Terrific.
thing where they give you a little 5-page segment of another Dark Knight's Metal book coming out called The Terrifics. It is going to be Mr. Terrific leading a team of Plastic Man and characters like that. So Metamorpho, Plastic Man, There's been rumors of Dr. Fate even, but I don't know about that.
I did like Dr. Fate back in the
So
day.
that's the one out of all of these I'm looking forward to the most. Basically, it's going to be the DC doing the Fantastic Four.
It was disappointing.
So
Disappointing.
picked up a little trinket over at
did?
the comic book store.
What?
I was out and about, and it's not a comic book.
No.
But for Hayworth High School Husky fans,
Mm-hmm.
we picked up a little license plate. I don't know how old it is. I can tell you that from the stuff on the back, it's like legit, not like redone. So
Sure.
it's got some use. So if you're
Patina.
looking for something like that,
Sure.
check out the
What's
comic
something like
book
that go
store.
for? What would you sell
It's
that
gonna- It's
for?
going to be $30.
$30 I think is a good price.
So I don't know if it's enamel, but it's metal.
Local memorabilia.
It's really nice. It's cool, and you just don't see enough Hayworth High School.
Oh, no, you don't see any.
My mom graduated.
You don't
from
see
there.
any Hayworth High School.
So
Yeah, that's nice. That's
cool.
I like it.
all right. So we got some new stuff coming up pretty soon. Next week we're going to. You gonna be here next week?
I don't know why I wouldn't. I think I will.
Sometimes you're not.
I think I will. No, yes, I'm sorry.
All right.
I think I
So
am.
next week we're gonna have a fun little game. Mike's gonna love it.
I am?
It's gonna be. Oh, look forward to this one.
What's it gonna be called?
It's gonna be called. How to trap a Hollywood predator.
I am here next
It's
week.
gonna be a good time.
We're not gonna do that.
So it's gonna be awesome.
Not gonna have
Thanks. Be groovy.